আগে আসবে মানে।
এক্স্যাক্টলি এটাকে কি বলে আসলে? সর্টিং না?
জি স্যার, জি স্যার, ঠিক আছে স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ।
Okay, can we start the session?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So, first of all, need to know, is there any question, is there any query that we have from the lectures? I believe like we have covered 3 lectures. তিনটা লেকচারের মধ্যে কি কারো কোনো প্রশ্ন আছে? Anything that you want to add? নেই? No doubts? Can we?
স্যার আজকে তো
জি।
আপনি ওগুলো পড়ে আসেন তো স্যার, বুঝতে পেরেছি। এখন স্যার নিজে আরেকবার ট্রাই করে দেখতে হবে, যদি কোনো প্রবলেম তখন বের হয়। আপাতত
Okay,
নাই।
okay, good. So let's go to the next slide, where this basically we are talking about making views. Um, um, so this is basically one of the advantages that we can have when we are using relational database management. Sometimes some queries are very frequent in nature. That means we need to see a particular part of the database, not the whole database, or not the whole table, or maybe joint tables. In that case, we can create a views and can request data from that views. It will be easier uh, for the clients or for the from database point of view, because the table would be created or the views would be created earlier. But in this course, we don't have any scope to discuss those views. That's the reason why we are skipping this part. Now, as we already have talked about these things, I'm just going through the lectures. When we are processing multiple tables and information gathered from multiple tables should be done by using join command, right? We have seen join, we talked about equi-join, we have talked about natural join, and there is something called outer join. These are the types of join that we have seen. Now, what is the difference? So here you can see the left outer join is there on the right, on the right side. The uni join is there on the bottom, and basically the natural join is given on the left part. So in natural join, what happens, like when join means what? Join means this part will come, the left part of the circle, and the right part of the right sided circle will come. But the thing that is common in between these, how many times they will occur? Typically they should occur once, but when we do natural join, they will occur twice. Now, what are there in the common? Maybe some attributes that are appearing or that are there in both the relation. So these attributes would be coming in two different columns. So that is the difference with uni join or natural join. Okay, so this is basically the difference between these two. And left outer join, right outer join, I believe you already know that. So join, as we already have talked about, we can simply say join this on, we say customer table, join order table on customer ID equivalent to customer ID. That means customer T's customer ID should be equivalent to order T's customer ID. Here you can see we have renamed customer table as C and order table as O. So instead of simply saying customer T, we could simply say C dot customer ID equivalent to O dot customer ID. So that will be again easier for us. And here you can see we have said C dot customer ID comma O dot customer ID. So we are bringing both IDs from both table, and customer name and order ID. Why we haven't used customer C dot customer name or O dot order ID? The reason behind these attributes are unique in customer name, customer table, and this is unique in order table. So that's the reason why we don't repeat these two tables, or there is no prefix. And order by is order ID. This particular query can also be written as this, where we can simply say customer join these. I think that would be more appropriate, where we can use where clause. So instead of simply say join, instead of simply saying join, we can keep the relations, and under the where clause we can have the join conditions. But if we have join, then there are two ways of joining. One is by simply writing on clause. One is simply writing on clause, while we will be saying on this equivalent to that, or we can simply saying as using clause. Using clause in once we're saying using, then basically we can simply mention the common attribute in between these two. That means that is required for the join. So if we have same attribute, same name, then we can use the using statement. But if the name of the attributes are different, if we want to join based on some other attribute, then we have to use the previous version. Is it okay? বুঝতে পারছেন?
স্যার একটু জটিল হয়ে গেছে স্যার।
Okay. The first version is known, right? এটা তো আপনারা সবাই জেনেছেন।
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
Okay, so we stick with the first version. Don't need to bother about the second version. এটা না পারলেও হবে। If the first version is okay, then it is okay, right?
আমার কোশ্চেনটা হচ্ছে স্যার সিলেক্ট সি ডট সিটা যে দিতেছি স্যার, কাস্টমার টি থেকে সিটা আসছে স্যার, এটা তো আমার ফার্স্টে বলা উচিত ছিল। আমি ফার্স্টে বললাম সিলেক্ট সি ডট কাস্টমার আইডি, কাস্টমার নেম, অর্ডার আইডি। কাস্টমার নেমটা তো স্যার সি থেকে, কাস্টমার টি থেকে আসছে, মানে কাস্টমার টেবিলটা ওইটা। তো স্যার এখানে আমি কেন সি ডট কাস্টমার নেমটা বললাম না, অথবা অর্ডার আইডিতে ও ডট অর্ডার আইডি বললাম না কেন? নাকি এই দুটো আমি চাচ্ছি না জয়েন করতে, আমি চাচ্ছি এই দুটো জয়েন করবো, এই জন্য মানে স্যার এই জিনিসগুলো একটু গুলে যাচ্ছে স্যার।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, আমি একটুখানি তাহলে একটু পিছনের দিকে যাই। হ্যাঁ, কোথায় দেখালাম এটা? SQL lecture 3। এই চারটার কথা মনে পড়ে?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ স্যার।
হ্যাঁ, we start with what?
from
তার মানে যখন when we will define, where we should define first? In select we will define, or in from we will define?
in from we will define. Yes sir.
Very good. Now
Okay.
Going back here, first of all it will execute this line, right?
Yes sir, yes sir.
That's the
Okay.
reason why customer T has been redefined here as C. Thus
Okay,
we can
sir.
call C dot customer, because this line would be executed at the bottom, at the end.
Okay sir.
Okay?
Yes sir.
Is it okay now?
Yes sir. Okay.
Is it okay? Can we proceed?
Yes sir.
স্যার ওখানে লাস্টে 1 কেন দিচ্ছি?
কোথায় 1 দিয়েছি?
স্যার ফ্রম যে লাইনটা ওখানে লাস্টে 1,
কোথায়? আমি তো 1 দেখছি না।
তো সেকেন্ড লাইন।
হ্যাঁ, আমি কোনো এখানে 1 দেখছি না তো। কোথায় 1 দেখছেন?
স্যার সেকেন্ড লাইনে লাস্টে
on, right? On is basically join criteria. On is a join criteria. এটা তো এর আগে আমরা দেখেছি না?
কিন্তু স্যার ওদিন আমরা 1 ইউজ করছিলাম না। জি স্যার দেখছিলাম।
আমরা দেখেছি তো এটা আগে। On is a join criteria, okay?
Yes sir, okay sir. Thank you.
So this is basically left outer join. We can simply say left outer join in this way, and we can mention right outer join. So these are the typical ways how can you use these commands. So that's the reason why we have introduced these concepts. Concept আপনারা আগে জানেন. Now you are basically, we are introducing you with the way how can we write these commands. Okay, এটা একটু দেখেন তো, এটা বুঝেন কিনা?
জি স্যার।
বুঝে গেছেন?
স্যার হ্যাঁ।
ওকে, আমি এখন কি প্রশ্ন করব?
স্যার এখানে যা এটা তো বুঝেছি স্যার।
ওকে, কি বুঝেছেন একটু বোঝান আমাকে।
স্যার কাস্টমার টি টেবিলটাকে সি হিসেবে অ্যাসাইন করেছে,
হুম
অর্ডার টি ও হিসেবে অ্যাসাইন করেছে,
হুম হুম
অর্ডার লাইন ও এল হিসেবে অ্যাসাইন করেছে, এন্ড
হুম
প্রোডাক্ট
হুম।
টি পি হিসেবে।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা,
এরপরে
এখানে একটু থামাই আপনাকে। হ্যাঁ, when we have all the tables one by one with a separated by a comma, what does that mean? Is it a join or it is a Cartesian product?
কার্টেশিয়ান।
Because if we need to use join, we have to say join, right? And join should be followed by a on clause. On with what attribute you are joining. But here we are not using join, we are simply using comma,
জি
isn't
স্যার।
it? So when we are using comma, what does that mean? It would be joined or it would be a Cartesian product.
কার্টেশিয়ান।
Okay, very good. So what is a Cartesian product?
স্যার এটা হচ্ছে মাল্টিপ্লাই করে।
Exactly. For one instance, all instance would be repeated, right? Multiplication. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 tables one by one, what should be the complexity in terms of algorithm? Hmm? N. N times. Nope. Let assume all the table has n number of data. So what would be the complexity?
স্যার এন।
স্যার স্কয়ার হবে না?
How many tables are there?
4।
4. So n multiplied by n multiplied by n multiplied by n, isn't it?
জি স্যার।
So it is n to the power
4।
4।
4. Make sense?
জি স্যার।
So if it no, n to the power n, because we have only 4 relations, 4 tables, so it can't be n to the power n. It should be n to the power 4. But in this specific problem, the complexity is n to the power 4. Do you agree with that or not? Okay,
জি স্যার।
very good. That means if we want to search any data from such query, it would be very expensive. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All of you are agreeing, right?
Yes, sir.
So how can we reduce the complexity? Can we reduce the complexity? First of all, if data from multiple tables, that means 4 or 5 table is required, can we reduce the complexity?
Yes স্যার।
How? How can we reduce the complexity?
আমরা জয়েন ইউজ করতে পারি না?
Okay, join use করলে কি হবে? Join to basically on top of Cartesian product, isn't it?
Yes স্যার।
So তো কার্টেসিয়ান প্রোডাক্টে যদি হয় that becomes n to the power 4, isn't it? রিডিউস করা যায়? যায় না? আচ্ছা, now let me talk about few other aspects of this. Remember, when we are doing primary key, we have primary key in all those tables, right? In all those relations, right? What is a primary key? Identifier, very good. And we know automatically primary key would be indexed, right? So when something has been indexed, what does that mean? What would be the complexity? Very good. Therefore, is it multiplication of n into n or multiplication of log n into log n?
Log n.
Very good. And log n into log n would be? What would be the result? Tell me the result. Log n multiplied by log n. What should be the answer?
Sir, log n plus n.
Very good. That means log 2n, right?
Ji sir.
So in this case, it would be log 4n. Isn't it?
Ji sir. Ji sir.
Yes.
So therefore, the complexity remains what? Log. So that is the beauty of having primary key or index. Are you understanding now why database is so efficient?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So now here, as you can see, we have Cartesian product. So if we have Cartesian product, then basically we have to deal with many attributes, right? Isn't it? And lots of them won't be making any sense, isn't it? Are you getting it? Because Cartesian
Yes,
products come up with something which makes no sense. So what should we do? We should have done joining, but have we done joining here?
No, sir.
But answer is yes, we have done joining. And how is that? Can you look into the where clause?
where zero custom o dot customer id equals to এখানে কি join
Exactly. So here in the condition we have mentioned customer id is equal to order dot customer id and order number is equivalent to order line dot order number, order line dot product number is equal to product dot product number. So the joining has been made on under which clause? Under where clause. Now if we go there, you can see from, then followed by we have where. Okay, after from we do where related works. That means within these two steps from Cartesian product we can get a limited number of rows. Make sense? Which would be n rows. Which would be n rows, isn't it? Are you understanding it? Why it should be n rows? Why it should be n rows?
So n number of tuples.
From which n number of tuples we are dealing with? We are talking about which n numbers. I agree. N number of tuple. Which n we are talking about? Is it customers n? Is it orders n? Order lines n? Or products n? Which n you are talking about?
Sir, order.
Order,
Order N.
orders N. Okay. What about others?
I think so.
Order N. Why not product? Why not customer? Any idea? Why not customer? Khadija, why not customers N?
Sir, because the question theory is for order number 1006.
Now, if I don't bother about the last criteria, if I simply focus on the where part where basically we have joined these 4 tables. So how many relations or how many tuples we will come up with? We have mentioned that there will be n tuples, right? Now my question was which n? N belongs from customer or n of order table, n of order line table, or n of product table? And you have mentioned it would be n of order table. Why order table? Let's not consider that we have a criteria for order table, order ID equal to 1006. Let's not discuss about that. Why n? Why that n?
Sir,
Yes.
is there any possible n can be an arbitrary value or number?
No, it's not possible. It has to be a logical value. There has to be a logical value for n, right? It cannot be an arbitrary value. Why n and which n? Okay, let me explain. First of all, let's see whether you are understanding this or not. So first of all, let's say we have customer and we join customer with order, right?
Yes, sir.
If we join these, what will happen? We have customer, we have orders, isn't it? This is customer, this is order. So we end up with these rows, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Why these rows? The customers, those customers who have ordered, right? Do we need any customers who haven't given any order?
No.
No. That's why it should not be n from customer. Make sense?
Ji, sir. Ji, sir.
Okay. Now think about it. We have order because all orders belongs to a customer, right? So eventually this would be something like this, isn't it? Because all orders are belonging to a customer, isn't it? Each order should be provided by some customer, right?
Yes, sir.
So when we are considering order contain what? let's say
So customers.
we have 10 customers. We have 10 customers. Okay. And
Then sir, we will have 10 orders.
among these 10 customer, 5 customer has order, and each of them has order, like say 3 orders have been placed. So we have 15 orders. Make sense? Make sense?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
We have products. We have total 20 products. And out of these 20 products, 10 products have been ordered through these orders. 10 products have been ordered. So rest 10 has never been ordered. Can that happen?
Yes, sir, it can.
Okay. So where I will get the product related information? Does order has product related information? Do we have product related information in order? Order contain only order number, order date, right? So where we will get the product and order? That we will have in order
Order line.
So in each and every order line, we will be like, for example, if there are 15 orders, each of these 15 orders might have 2 products. So in total, we will be having 30 product line, right? So these 30 product line, once we will join this record, join the whole thing, we will get 30 of this product line, right? That's what we want to see, isn't it? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
So which N we have used?
The order line.
So it's not N for product, it's not N for customer.
And it's not.
And of course it's not N of order. So we are using N of order line. So the one that has that is basically in what should I say? How can I portray that? That is more detailed. So the table that contains more detailed data, that N should be used when we are joining multiple tables. Make sense? Now let me get back to the previous examples that we have, and from there ask you some questions. You remember these relations?
Yes, sir.
We had authors, author, title, and publisher. If we need to, for some reason, if we need to join these relations, then the N will occur for which table? Which N we will get? Which N we will get? Answer, please. which n? বলেন বলেন। If we join these four, we will end up with n of which one?
So title.
Title.
Sir, I guess title author.
Title author. Which one is more detailed? Title has only titles, only book related information. Author has only authors, author related information. Publishers only have publisher related information. Title author contain information related to author and title, right?
Yes, sir.
So which one is more detailed? Detail here
Title
means like
author.
has
So title
more
author.
information. That is title author.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the answer would be title author. Okay, so these kind of what should I say, understanding is required when we would be joining, so that we know how to join and what these joining criteria would be leading us to. Now I think we were here. Asia, you can see here we have used the term on. দেখেছেন?
জি স্যার, আমি আমার খাতা বের করে দেখেছি স্যার।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা,
সরি স্যার।
okay. So uh, so in this case, now if we want to get these things going, like for example, if we want, we can simply say that we have these datas, select from where, we can simply say select a dot AUF name, comma T dot title name. Okay, from author as A, comma title author as TA, comma title as T, where A dot AU ID equivalent to TA dot AU ID, and TA dot title ID is equivalent to T dot title ID. So instead of simply saying join, we can write this piece of information. Like we can simply ignore join and can write these statements instead of join. Okay, is it clear? Is it okay? So this one, this piece of code might be equivalent to select or select A dot AUF name, comma T dot title name from author as a join with title author as TA on a dot auid equivalent to ta dot auid join title as t on t dot title id equivalent to ta dot title id. That's it. So we can have these 3 lines or we can have these 2 lines. That means the from would be bigger, but instead of having the join statement, we can simply have Cartesian product, and in where clause we can put the joining criteria that will do the same. Okay, is it okay?
স্যার আমরা এক্সামে যে কোনো একটা করতে পারবো?
হ্যাঁ, যে কোনো একটা, anything would be fine. Is there any other query? কোনো query আছে আর? কোনো query আছে?
না স্যার।
Okay, very good. Can we have one more exercise before we end the class for today? Let's say we have title, right? Title কি থাকে আমাদের? What we have in title?
টাইটেল আইডি থাকবে, টাইটেল নেম থাকবে।
On title we
Qualification
have
letter.
title ID, title name, title type, and pub ID, right?
পাব আইডি।
Now, if we want to find types of book and number of books in each type, I believe we have done that, right? We simply say select, what we say?
টাইপ
Select
Type,
type.
comma, count star, right?
Yes, sir.
ইয়েস স্যার।
From type title
Title.
table.
Title, group by type, right?
ইয়েস স্যার।
Okay. Now, if I want you to show me the type and the title, that is title names of that type, what you will do? I want to see the type and title names of that type. How can you show me that result?
So select type, comma, title
So
name.
let's say we have a type called CAC type. There are 20 books and the title should be T1, T2, T3, T4, right? In this way up to T20, right?
Yes, sir.
This is what I want to see. So how can you show me that?
Select type, comma, count star, এটা ঠিক আছে যদি এভাবে দেখতে চাই, comma, sir, title name.
Title name. Rest is fine, right?
Yes, sir.
আচ্ছা, এবার now let me explain. This is not right. Right, বারবার আসবে না, এটা হবেই না। The reason behind it, this one is making it aggregated, right? Combine করেছে, summarize করেছে, so this has been used for summary, isn't it? And this one is making things more detailed. So this is a summary information. Can we have detail along with the summary in the same row? As Onnoy was saying, it should be
No,
repeated,
sir.
right? But এটা তো repeated হওয়ার তো কোনো কারণ নেই, because this is basically summary. We want to do it summarize information, right? So this is not possible. We can't have the detail and summary all together. That is a problem. Okay, so whenever you do this, whenever for the if anything has been requested for you from you and you want to do this, then it would be very difficult. It is not possible to manage things in that way. Okay, okay,
তো এই ক্ষেত্রে আমরা কি করব?
let me add or let me give you one good example. So let me add price under the title. Okay, so if we want to do show type wise average price, what you will do, you will simply say select type, right, comma avg price, right, from title group by type. Simple, right? You are doing aggregation with respect to type and you will be getting the aggregate value. Okay, okay, now let me write another query. Show titles price difference with respect to average price. Now what I mean by that, let's say title 01, the price is 30 and average price of the books is 25. Then what is the price difference of this one with the average price? 5. If price title 2 is, let's say, 23, this would be -2, right? Make sense? If title 03 is, let's say, 33, this would be 7, no sorry 8, right? Is it okay? Are you getting it? Okay, now how can I do this? এটা করব কিভাবে? How to write this SQL? বলেন, লেখার চেষ্টা করি। বলেন বলেন।
স্যার আমাকে কি এখানে
স্যার হোয়াইল ক্লজ ইউজ করতে হবে এখানে।
আচ্ছা, মানে বলা শুরু করেন নাকি লিখি? সিলেক্ট ওয়্যার কেন ইউজ করব? what I have done, এটার মধ্যে কি করা হয়েছে একটু বলেন তো আমাকে। This is price minus AVG price, isn't it?
জি স্যার।
Okay.
স্যার
তাই
এভিজি
তো?
প্রাইসটা বলে দিতে হবে না আমার আগে থেকে?
হ্যাঁ, সরি।
আমি স্যার বলতেছি এভিজি প্রাইসটা কি আগে থেকে বলে দিব নাকি এই টেবিলটাতেই আবার নতুন করে দেখবো আমার
না,
এভারেজটা
এই
কত?
যে এভারেজ প্রাইস আমরা বের করতে পারি না একটা ফাংশন লিখে যেভাবে, এরকম একটা ফাংশন দিয়ে
জি স্যার।
পারি তো নাকি?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
তাহলে সমস্যা কোথায়? কি লিখবো বলেন, কি লিখবো বলেন? টাইটেল
স্যার
আইডি
বললে
কমা প্রাইস কমা কি হবে বলেন বলেন বলেন।
এস মাইনাস এভারেজ।
এটাই রাইট?
স্যার মাইনাসটা করতে হবে না স্যার?
এই যে করেছি। করেছে না?
জি স্যার।
So is it okay? It seems okay, right?
জি স্যার, কিন্তু আপনি তো লাস্ট আবার না বলে দেন।
হ্যাঁ, it seems okay, but it don't work. Why it don't work? Because this is an aggregation. So this aggregation will make only one row, right?
ইয়েস স্যার।
But whenever we are entering these information, these will have n rows based on the rows that is there in title table. So one row and n row, does they go side by side? They won't. So therefore it won't work. This won't work. This is the reason why it won't work. Make sense?
জি
Aziz,
স্যার।
বুঝতে পেরেছেন?
জি স্যার।
Okay. So now what should we do to get rid of this problem? How can we solve it? বুদ্ধি দেন আমাকে। Think about it. We have title 01, price is 30. Title 02, price is 23. Title 04, price is let's say 28. Title 03, price is 35. In this way we have the price, right? This is basically the title table, right? So from there we can make an average. So what would be the average value?
তো সাম প্রাইস
কত হবে?
বাই এম।
কত হবে?
29 স্যার।
এখানে 29 হচ্ছে?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
Okay. I am assuming Aziz is right, so I'm assuming it would be 29. Okay. So এখন how do I do this? Because whenever I will be using AVG function, whenever I will be doing AVG function will bring only one value, which is 29. But if I want to get this value, then basically can I use AVG?
স্যার এভিজির ভিতরে প্রোডাক্টের প্রাইসটা দিলে স্যার
So
সবগুলো
AVG is always bringing, AVG always basically summarizing the whole table in one row, right? If you don't use group by, then AVG will be summarizing the whole table into one row. But we want all rows to be displayed, right? How many tuples we have? We have n tuples. N tuples. N tuples. If n is multiplied by 1, how many tuples we will end up with? n. Now think about it. If we assume this average price is a table, if we assume this average price is a table, and if we have this table and this table side by side, that means Cartesian product, what will happen?
Sir, n.
Then we can show all the data, whether the size of that means whether the Cartesian product will increase the size of data. The answer is
No,
no. Why no?
because sir,
Because this contain only
one
one data, right? Now I am doing Cartesian product. Cartesian product between what? So we are having title
Title
and
average.
and this has to be a table, right? So how can I get this table? AVG, what should I say?
The price.
Price from title. So if I write this query, I will get this table with one row.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here now I'm saying select AVG price from title as AVG price as AVG P. So I'm having two tables. One is title table, another is new table, which I have defined as AVG P, and I have basically write the query for that. Make sense? So here, let me rename this with AVG PR. That means average price. Okay. So from here, under selection, we simply say title ID, comma, price, comma, then price minus AVG PR, because AVG PR is the average price, right? This is the new attribute. Okay. So then basically the answer would be done. Have you followed so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this method of having a SQL inside another SQL is known as subquery. So we are having a SQL inside a SQL. You have the concept of nested if, nested loop. Similarly, we can have this concept of having a SQL inside another SQL. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So this concept can be used in varieties of places.
স্যার
জি।
স্যার এর আগে যেটা একটা এক্সাম্পল ছিল না, ওই যে স্যার টাইটেল মেমো দেখতে যাচ্ছিলাম, ওটা স্যার এভাবে একটু দেখাবেন?
হুম, ওটা তো আপনার জন্য করার কথা, ওটা আপনি এখন বসে বসে করেন। We are saying another query where we ask you to have the titles as well, right? we want to see the titles as well as the what we want to see. We want to see the where is it? কোথায় লিখছিলাম? We want to see the detail and the aggregation together. That means we want to have the it was, I believe it was it was type and number of books and each of the titles, right? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So we want to see type, total, title, within that type, and the title ID
Or sir, title name.
or title name, whatever it is. কিভাবে করবেন তাহলে এখন বলেন? How to solve this one? Because this part and this part is detailed, right? With each title name, we have an associative type, right? Isn't it? And we have a total title of each and every type. That means we have a title table. We have title table, and title table should be joined with another table that will contain type and total. With that would be joined with type. Are you getting it? বুঝতে পেরেছেন? Have you followed me? Yes or no?
স্যার লাস্ট এটা কি বলেছেন এটা ধরতে পারিনি।
So we have title table, right?
জি স্যার।
Title table like title 01, XYZ, type is CSC. We have title 02, ABC, type is BBA. We have title 03, PQR, type is, let's say, EEE. In this way, we have lots of information or lots of tables, lots of book. And we would be doing another table. We have to create another table where type, like for example, where it will say CSC, we have 20 books. BBA, we have 30 books. EEE, we have 15 books. So this would be a table like that. Okay. And we have to join these two tables with respect to these values. The type is here, the type is there as well. So based on the type, we have to join. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
এখন বলেন আমাকে কিভাবে লিখব? How to write the query?
So select title type
Select
type
type,
comma
comma. So for this kind of query, it would be better not to start with select, rather start with from.
Okay, sir.
ফ্রমটা কি হবে? From would be title, comma,
Select first parenthesis.
this one, select, বলেন,
টাইপ ফ্রম
type, comma,
Count star.
count star, very good, from
টাইটেল
title,
At-
শেষ,
Group by.
very good, group by,
টাইপ টাইপ
type, as T type. That's I renamed it T type, and this one I renamed as total. Now tell me what will happen. So here the problem is, let's say we have 500 books and we have total 20 types. So if we make Cartesian product, what will happen? It will be 10,000, isn't it? Because this is not a single row. This is a single row because it is a group by. It is not a single row. Make sense? That's why I have mentioned it should be joined based on type. So what we should do? We have to say where what?
Total.
Title dot type should be equivalent to T type dot type. So you're joining titles type with T types type. Make sense? Because whenever we will have one tuple CSC, that won't be merged with all of these. It would be matched with only CSC. BBA will match with only BBA. Triple E will be matched with only Triple E. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Rest is, I believe, is simple. You can either choose from I think sometimes we can keep it in this way. We might not use as, so it should be T from title, then what? Then T dot title ID, comma, total. We can use all these. This will be coming automatically. Type, title, and total, or whatever the order. Type, total, then title ID. Whatever you say, this will can come accordingly. Make sense? So these are some little difficult queries that we might need to use sometime. Any question? Any question? Nope. No problem. Okay, then basically let's close our session for today. I'm going to close it, right? I hope you don't have any, you won't mind me to close the session for today, right?
Yes, sir, no problem.
Okay, good. So I hope there is no queries from your side, right? You don't have any query, right?
জি স্যার।
Okay, very good. That's great. So I'm then basically closing the session for today. Hopefully we'll see you on Tuesday, right?
জি স্যার।
Okay then. Thank you.
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
Walaikum
Allah
assalam.
Hafiz, sir.
Allah Hafiz.